Hey, what's up, guys? Today I wanted to talk about an idea that I've had, and I've been thinking a lot recently since, Season of the Splicer is starting to finally wind down, and we're reaching this lull point where basically the only thing left to do is complain about Master Vogue or open Solstice packages with your spare time. I thought I'd talk a little bit about why I think something a Bungie dev said about a year ago at this time may actually be true. Now, when Mark Noseworthy said this about a year ago, I think it was about October actually, is when the Bungie Viaduct comes out for Beyond Light. He said that Destiny's best days are ahead of us. And I think looking back on almost a complete full year since Beyond Light, you have to agree with that statement. And there's not much to say on the contrary. I've personally seen so much excitement from people within my own clan, or just from people in general talking about Destiny online, that I haven't seen since literally Taken King back in 2015. And that's super exciting as a player to see people getting back in, people trying new things, people who played Destiny 2 on year one and quit and are coming back now and are more excited than ever to be playing the game again. The first thing I want to talk about is adept weapons. Now, I have to say, as a player who basically hated trials for most of Season of Worthy throughout the rest of Season of Arrivals and mostly into Beyond Light, I really never touched trials. But with the addition of Palindrome and Swarm and Shadow Price and Hung Jury and Uzume in the Grandmaster Nightfall playlist, it's been such a breath of fresh air. I have so much fun every week getting on, playing a GM, grinding out GMs when it's double Nightfall loot, and just trying to get the best adept weapon I can get. And even though most of them aren't necessarily the best for PvP, Palindrome and Uzume are a ton of fun and have some great roles that you can try out and have a lot of fun with. Next, I want to talk about story. Now, Destiny's story has been something that's basically been holding on tooth and nail since 2014. If you can even explain to me what the actual story is of D1 Vanilla, I definitely would like to know, as I'm still to this day pretty confused by it, as it just kind of seems new guy wakes up in Russia, weird robot says go do this, we go do that, and then lady gives me cool pulse rifle with big pointy blaster at the end. And that's basically how I've summed up the story for the past 7-8 years. But this year, the story has been the most incredible thing I think I've ever experienced. I've had more people ask me questions about who different characters are, what their background is so important to the story, what's their motive, what's their plan, what's the end game. I've had more people ask me, what do you think is going to happen next season? Or what if this happens? How would that affect us? Or what would it look like if this happened? And how would this character react if that happened? And it's been such an awesome and interesting ride this year to see Crow go from basically the most hated person in the Destiny story to practically the most beloved, and to have an amazing story arc, and to see Zavala and to see Mithrax and all these different characters who you never thought you'd actually see take the limelight in Destiny actually have an opportunity to thrive and to grow and to create something super cool and super interesting that doesn't take a lot of thought. You don't have to sit down and read 20 lore cards or 36 different pages or watch 6 Bife videos. You can sit down and experience the story and get a grasp of it. And then if you want that deeper dive, if you want to experience the ins and outs of the story, if you want to see, oh, well, who's motivated about this? How does Lord Saladin feel about what we're doing? How do the people of the city feel now that the Elixni have moved in? You have all these opportunities to read about it and to learn about it, and you get to experience so much more about the game through your own interest and not feeling like, oh, well, I'm not going to understand what's happening next week if I don't read this or watch this 20-minute video. I've had so many fun interactions this season alone of just clanmates basically being like, wait, so you're telling me that one lore card is about that one person that everything's been hyping up towards, and that he could be her, or she could be her, or that she literally is walking among us? It's been such a fun experience, and it's really made Destiny 2 feel alive and have more of a sense of community than ever before. I used to feel like the only real way to experience the lore was through watching a YouTube video, or through watching an explanation, or just reading the lore pages themselves and trying to understand it. But now with the weekly missions and the way the story has been structured, it's been such an amazing job, and I think the writing team at Bungie deserves a huge round of applause for all their hard work they've done this year of finally taking a super convoluted story and creating something that you can take in little bite-sized pieces every week and piece together, and then have extra little tidbits added on for you to go and seek out and to go and check out that add that little extra deep layer that makes you wonder, are we doing the right thing? Is the right person really telling us what to do? And who do we really trust? It's been so much fun, and I think the writing team deserves all the praise for that. And I think the gameplay team for implementing it in a way that makes it fun and makes it useful, and for making super fun things like battlegrounds and overrides where it feels like you're just constantly fighting and battling, and to make it all the dialogue in that is such an amazing. There's so many great lines inside of battlegrounds, inside of override, where if you just listen while you're playing, you're learning so much more about Lakshmi, about Mithrax, about Osiris, about Kaido, about Saint, all these different characters, and it gives such a deeper dive and personality to the seasons rather than it just being, this season the big robot wants you to shoot rockets in the sky because he's scared of another big rocket hitting us. Seems like every day the darkness creeps closer and closer to the last city. The golden age of Destiny 2 keeps getting better and better. I believe we are definitely in some of Destiny's best years, and I believe we should take full advantage of that. Vault of Glass has been such a fun addition to bring back, and has been so cool to re-experience. From people that remember doing it week 2 or week 3 of D1, to people that remember doing it at the end of D1's life cycle, to people that have never done a Vault of Glass before and are so confused when you make jokes about using Icebreaker for oracles. I've had so much fun this season, and I really hope Season 15 continues to capture that and push the story in a better direction. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.